Okay, we've got the sensor hooked on. I'm gonna grab a level real quick. I want to level this. This is adjustable up and down, so we want this completely level. So I'm gonna grab a level real quick, torpedo level, and we just set it on here. And it's not too bad off. It needs to drop just a little bit. So we adjust these. And boom, there we are. Basically what that does, that makes this level from the sensor straight to the crankshaft so you don't have any wobble in it. Get a good read. There we go. So, got that done. So we are getting close to spinning. So I'm ready now to put my belt on. So this is actual belt that actually turns the crankshaft. Hooks down here to an electric motor right here. Once we engage that electric motor, it starts turning the rotating assembly. So it hooks on the center main. And we got that on there. So what we want to do now is we want to get that belt centered in the journal. And we do that by adjusting the motor. And that's good. So we've got our belt riding right in the center. So that's good to go. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to measure the main size, journal size. So this particular crankshaft is a 10 under. So it's going to be 10 under, factory standard. So we're just going to throw a real quick measurement on here. See where we at on that. 2 inches, 300. So we're going to plug that number into the computer for the shaft size. That way, the computer takes the shaft size and calculates the RPM for the balance. So go ahead and put that in. So shaft 2.300, enter. We've got that. The next thing we're going to do is the RPM we want to turn it at. So we're going to put that in. We're going to turn it at 300 RPM. So basically we're set up. Real quickly, we'll go over and get real quickly what we did. We had a bob weight 1860. We had calculated the bob weight by weighing the piston, the rod, one set of rings, one set of rod bearings, and the wrist pin. And then that's on the right side. And then on the left side, we weighed the rod bearing. And then we allowed 4 grams for oil, for the oil accumulation on the assembly. So that's how we arrived at 1860. So we got all 4 bob weights bolted on. We got the crankshaft gear for the timing chain is installed. We've got the balancer installed. We've got the customer's flywheel installed. So everything's on it. We've got the belt on it. We've got RPM at 300. We've got the main size diameter plugged into the computer. So we're going to turn it on and we're ready to make spin number 1. So this will be the initial spin that we're going to do, the very first one, see where we're at. So we're going to hit the start button. And here we go. We're off and running. Now the computer is spinning this at 300 RPM, which it has a calculation factor that takes to 300 and then, it does a calculation where it actually applies it at 4,000. Everything's spinning real good. Everything nice and straight. All right, so we're not far off at all. We're going to first spin We're going to go ahead and log first spin information. So that gives the computer now, with the first spin loaded, it gives the computer a reference point that we will work off of as we go through the process and finish it up. So that's good. It's under 2 grams. So on the left, we're at 1.8. So it wants weight removed right in here. It's only it's only 1.8 grams on the back, out of balance. And then on the front, it's about 4.6. So what we would do is we would take a little bit off of this corner. So we're within tolerance to go straight from the 300 RPM spin straight to the 500 RPM spin. So we're going to go ahead and spin this thing at 500 and see if it moves, see if anything happens. So here we go, 500. I'm going to reset it. The spin rate going to go to 500. 2.300 is the main journal size. So you'll see a significant difference in the 300 to the 500 in the speed of the spin. So here we go. 500 RPM. All right, so right there, it's less than 1 gram right here. We will remove, actually we'll probably get right over here and remove less than 1 gram there. And then over here, probably come in and just touch it just a little bit right there. So that's all it's going to take. It won't take much. So we're going to do that. We'll remove it with a, we'll use this, we don't need a lot, so we'll use a 9/16 bit. We don't need to use these great old big bits on that such a little bit of a little amount. So I am going to turn the compressor on so I can get some air to use my table. This table will lock in where we got to drill it. So that's the next step. It's going to be just a few minutes. We'll get that ready to drill, and then once we start the drilling process, we'll come back and let you watch that. So stay tuned for just one more moment. All right, welcome back, everyone. We've got the compressor turned on, got air to my table. As you can see, this table, it's a sliding type table, and then it's got an airlock on it that locks it down. So what we're going to do, I've installed a 9/16 drill bit. So we only need on this side almost 5 grams. So when we balance, we try to balance plus or minus 2. So we don't need much. 3 grams is not a whole lot. So we're going to take a little bit out of this side first, and then we'll spin it again and see where it moves to over here. So always use some rags, try to catch all these little clippings, little metal shavings as they come out of the drill bit. So I'm gonna come over here with my bit. I'm gonna center up right here. And I'll lock my table in. Then I'm gonna drill just a little bit out of here just to kind of 3 grams is not much, so it's not going to take a whole lot. But we like to, we have certain limits and parameters that we like to use. And on balancing, it's plus or minus 2 grams is kind of what we like. So that's what we're going to do. So we've got that removed. We're going to dump the shavings out. So as you can see, the hole I drilled right there. So it's probably a little less than 3, but we're going to spin it right there just to see. So got that removed, and we're going to give it another spin. All right, so here we go. We're spinning again at 500. All right, that got us down to 2.68 on the right and 1.34 on the left. So let's see what we have here. Okay, we're going to come back in here. I'll lock it in right there. We're going to take out just a little bit more. That got about half of what we needed. One thing about balancing is it's a slow process because you got to always remember, once you take it out, it's hard to put back. So that's what we go slow, not to take too much at one time. All right. Get the little metal shavings out of the way. So I'm going to spin it again. Always checking to make sure our belt stays in the middle. I don't like it to get up on the side because I think it sometimes it'll interfere with the reading that it's trying to get. You want as least amount of friction on that belt as you can get. All right, that put the front at 0.11. So that's 11/10 of a gram on the front. So now we're going to move to the back. And we need to take just a little bit out of the back. Yeah, about right there. So we're going to slide our table all the way down. The drill center. And right there. You're good. So we're going to lock it down right there. And we need on this end about, 1.5 grams. It's really in tolerance, but we can make it better than what it is. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and make it the best we can. So we're locked in. Again, this is a 9/16 bit. And basically we're fine tuning now. Getting this shaft on the money. Of course, the computer tells me where to drill. In other words, I can line up on the arrows line up and it tells me where to drill and how much to drill out. So, all right, we're going to start with that. Slide my table all the way down out of the way. Lock it in. Give it another spin and see where we're at. All right. So guess what, guys? That is on the money. So Dave, if you'll pan over here, I'll show them what we got. So if you remember when we started out on the right side, we were 4.97 out. On the left side or the flywheel side, we were like 2.90. So we made a couple small little holes in it. Remove just a little bit of weight. Now you can see we're exactly equal. We're 0.02 on the right, 0.02 on the left. So that is as good as it's going to get right there. So very happy and satisfied with that. So we're going to lock that in. Last spin information loaded. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll print out the customer sheet that shows the balance of what it was before we started and what it is now after we're finished. So go ahead and do that. Turn the printer on. And we're going to hit the print key. And here it comes. So this is actually going to print out everything for the customer that we just did. So, all right. So it shows, here's a sheet. Customer name, prepare order number, left side start 0.92, right side start for 0.92, left side finish 0.02, right side finish 0.02. So this one is completely balanced. There's your bob weight. I told you it was 1860. It's 1859.4. We always round up to the next gram. So everything looks good on this, and we're ready to break it down and get it off machine and get it up there and get it in the motor. So thanks for tuning in. We're going to take a short break, get up there and start putting this shaft into the customer's engine, and then we'll be back as soon as we start that. Thank you.